Hi guys, so I'm going to read Dagar the Invincible #1. So brand new, Tales of Sword and Sorcery, Dagar the Invincible. Dead warriors and monstrous demons encounter Dagar at the Castle of the Skull. Tales of Sword and Sorcery, Dagar the Invincible. There was a time when gods and demons walked the earth as men, and certain men possess the best and worst qualities of both. A young warrior raises his sword to the heavens, his heart drumming like the thunder above, his sword flashing in the moonlight. I charge you, gods of my people, as I stand at this gravesite, for what you permitted to happen. And my sword cuts the air that joins our worlds, separating us. No longer does Dagar bend the knee to you. The Sword of Dagar. As if in answer to the brazen warrior, a streak of fire splits the sky. The gods do not like being defied, but why should I fear their wrath? Even though explosive thunder, Dagar's keen senses alert him to impending danger. Something behind me! A saber-toothed tiger peers at Dagar. Then, lit by a blinding bolt of lightning, Saber-tooth! The youthful warrior prepares for the attack, but the saber-tooth is too swift. My sword! The gods have abandoned me, but I'll not need their aid, if I can reach my dagger. I have it! Now, Fanged One, try your best to vanquish me, for now Dagar has his own fang! The heart of the warrior races as the feline monster writhes, then falls aside. The conflict is over. But who is this man called Dagar, this superb warrior who has renounced the countless gods of his heritage, and stands alone beside a water-drenched grave? The earth was a realm of unsurpassed beauty and terror. In the twilight years between the end of the Stone Age and the beginnings of Babylon, the world was not governed by science, but magic. Even as certain highly advanced peoples erected great cities. Some of the prehistoric creatures of the Stone Age had not yet died out. They battled man, and each other against extinction. But the rulers of this planet controlled it with the powers of goodness and evil, mostly evil. Certain civilizations did not require the powers of sorcery to live happily. Tolgonia was a peaceful nation, small, hardly more than a city, but a nation nonetheless. It was in Tolgonia that a young orphan gazed at a metal battle helmet and felt a thrill of adventure. You were once our greatest warrior, grandfather, and wore this helmet.
Aye, Dagar. Everyone feared and respected Ando in those days.
Someday I will be a warrior like you, and, by the gods, look what's approaching.
Like a ghastly swarm of starved locusts, the invaders struck, savagely wielding blades that spared no one.
Ha! These Tolgonians are a puny lot. See how they fall to our swords.
Come with me. Ando is no longer capable of battle, and you have no experience.
No, please, I must go back.
It seems the enemy's demons are more powerful than our gods.
Our people, all of them, being slaughtered like sheep.
Dagar and Ando gaped, with feelings of nausea and incomparable hatred, as the last of their countrymen fell before the invaders.
Scorpio was right when he commanded that we wipe out this small nation. It was a blight on his domain, and is rich in spoils.
Aye, he'll be pleased.
As the strange army rode off, Dagar realized that Tolgonia no longer existed.
Did you hear him, grandfather? Some fiend named Scorpio ordered our people destroyed.
I heard, Dagar.
I never knew my parents, for they were killed during the great wars. And now everyone I've ever known, all my people, lie dead at my feet. You! Why didn't you let me fight? I may be young, but I'd have gladly died alongside my people.
No, Dagar. You must not die. You must live, Dagar. For when I die, you will be all that is left of our people. You will be our nation, and our nation must have vengeance upon those foul mass murderers. I was once the mightiest of warriors, before the greyness of time entered my body. But I still know how to train one to fight as no other. I will teach you my former skills, Dagar, and you shall be invincible.
Thus, Dagar began his long period of training, under the constant supervision of the once mighty Ando. Driven by an almost insane desire for revenge, the young man drove himself almost beyond endurance, developing his abilities to perfection. And as the years took effect, Dagar became an unequaled master of the sword. Then came the inevitable day that Dagar dreaded.
I am too old, Dagar. The gods have kept me alive this long to make you into the greatest of warriors. You have learned well. Find the destroyers of our people. Vanquish them.
Grandfather!
Dagar made a solemn vow.
You have gone to the spirits, but I exist. I am the nation of Tolgonia. I will become a mercenary warrior, fighting only for pay, for I bear no love for mankind.
After burying his mentor, the young warrior grasped his weapon.
By my sword and this grave, I swear not to rest until I found the murderers of my people and their monstrous master.
Now there is nothing left behind but grim memories, and a reason to exist.
Faster, Casa! Away from here!
Dagar rides off on the long fated trail made by his enemies, as but one clue burns within his mind.
I must find and kill those who wear the sign of the Scorpion.
Later, east of Tolgonia,
I've come for ancient Forak. This time he will be returned to Astalon.
I've stopped villains before. Oh, what? You didn't even jerk as my blade struck.
By now you should know better, witless fool. Unfortunately for you, you learned your lesson too late. Now that your god is vanquished, you'll be easy taking.
No, I beg of you.
as ancient Forak sinks to the ground, the earth seems alive with the thundering hoofbeats.
I said I'd never fight except for money, but the old one reminds me of Ando. Whatever living horror you are, raise your sword.
What fool is this?
With incredible speed, Dagar dismounts.
Shh! How do I kill one who is obviously already dead? Like this. And this will make sure your meatless bones never walk again. Go back to your spirit world of demons.
You have done it, valiant one. Done what my hireling failed to do.
Dagar has little time, old one. Tell me how a skeleton lived, and why he wanted you.
I am Forak, and yonder is the castle of the skull. It is the domain of Ostalon, the master of living bones. We have been mortal enemies for centuries. For ages, Ostalon has worked his evil upon the land. That dreaded sorcerer has sustained my life, though I long for the peace of death.
And why has this Ostalon kept you alive for so long?
Because he has wanted something of mine. Something which is now, curse him, he has. Come, I will show you.
His curiosity aroused, Dagar follows the old man into a cave.
Look, Dagar, into the hourglass by which I have some control over visions. Gaze into the glass and see a time when Forak still had his meagre powers, and when Ostalon first feasted his eyes upon her. Behold, Aranna, my daughter, whose beauty one day attracted the evil eyes of Ostalon. Who are you? What do you want?
I am Ostalon, and you must be my bride. I offer you eternal life, just as I am immortal.
No, your eyes, they show only evil and death. Aranna escaped the sorcerer, and I fled with her from that land. We'll go where Ostalon can never find us. He cannot pursue us forever. But Aranna's beauty had bewitching power, and Ostalon would indeed spend eternity pursuing her.
I give both of you a share of my immortality, so that Aranna will always be mine, no matter how long it takes to find her, and so Forak never knows the peace of death.
For ages, we fled and hid from this fiend, eventually finding this cave. We will stay here, and I shall pay some warrior to defend us, should Ostalon find us. But Ostalon found us, and sent his skeletons to abduct Aranna. She is now within the castle of the skull.
Never have I seen such a beautiful woman. I'll rescue Aranna, and make her my bride.
You shall have my daughter, but you'll need more than your sword to battle the unnatural horrors created by Ostalon. When I first discovered this cave, I found this, the legendary mace and chain of a warrior god. It must have been here for eons. They say that in the hands of one noble, enough to wield it, its enchanted power is without limit. My hired guard tried, but failed. I have little money, but...
Slowly, at first, Dagar's steel-like muscles strained to lift the incredibly heavy weapon.
You need pay me nothing. This time I fight for a cause, a beautiful cause.
Then, there is no further need to strain.
The weight is gone. The weapon seems made for my hand. And with this magic weapon, I'll go to the castle of the skull. I'll return with Aranna. Or not at all. This swears Dagar.
Part 2. Castle of the Skull. It is still daylight, but the dark clouds swell and spread as if to shield the heavens from the massive skull. Only one warrior dares ride into the gaze of those hollow eyes. Dagar the Invincible.
The Castle of the Skull. According to Forak, even this castle was conjured up by Ostalon, who makes it appear wherever he chooses. I said I'd never fight except for payment, and now I'm about to challenge a powerful sorcerer, after but a glimpse of a young girl in an hourglass. Could it be that Forak was right about Aranna's beauty having bewitching powers? Somehow just the sight of her made me feel strange.
Even as Dagar contemplates his feelings for the girl, Aranna broods within a chamber in the Castle of the Skull.
What's the matter, my lovely one? You do not look happy, even though I offered to share my throne with you and make you Ostalon's queen.
Queen? I am a prisoner in this ghastly place.
Precautions, my dear. Once your father is brought here, you will not desire to escape. Soon one of my skeletal slaves will capture the old toad. Then it will be a dungeon for him, where he can enjoy his eternal life.
The guard my father hired will destroy your skeletons. Then he'll free me from this jail.
Believe that if you like, Aranna. But no one human can survive the horrors I control here. Bring on your heroes, my love. Bring on an army of heroes. See how they fare against the swords of those already dead.
At that moment, outside the grim castle, I hope this mason chain is as enchanted as Forak says. Huh? Why do I hear a voice when there is no voice? A voice in my head.
Let my words enter your brain, Dagar. You have the mace and the chain of the warrior god. Now nothing can stop you, since your cause is just. Succeed, as I know you can, Dagar, so that my daughter will be free of Ostalon's clutches, and I might know rest for my tired body.
I hear you, old one.
My heart is sad for Dagar. If only I could tell him the monstrous truth. But then he wouldn't go off to vanquish Ostalon. The young warrior will soon learn the truth. Only too soon. When that happens, I hope his heart is strong enough to endure it, and I'll thank the gods that I will not be alive to face him.
If that living skeleton was an indication of what I'm about to encounter. Ostalon must have no concern over intruders. The door is unlocked. Dagar but touches the door, and, as if possessing life of its own, it opens to reveal only blackness. Blackness, and 5 glowing things of white.
By the warrior gods!
Someone seeks entrance to the castle. Then let's us show him that he has found only death.
There are too many of them to fight with my sword, but I have the advantage with this magic weapon. Go back to the unholy graves which spawned you. No dead men will make a corpse of Dagar.
But even as Dagar regains his breath, an awesome white form emerges from the shadows outside the castle.
The skeleton of a mammoth,
charging down at me. If I hadn't renounced the gods of my people, I'd prayed to them that this mace be as powerful as Forak promised. Mustering all his unequaled strength, Dagar prepares to swing the weapon no other mortal has ever wielded, and releases the full force of the mace once used by a god.
That's it, Dagar. As long as you have the power of that mason chain, you are like a god. You are truly invincible. Now go, go. Even Ostalon is not prepared for a weapon forged in the land of the gods.
With no light save that thrown by the enchanted mace, the mercenary soldier boldly prowls through the black corridor, spurred onward only by the courage in his breast and the strange sudden love for the girl, Aranna. So far these bones have not sprung against me. Perhaps Ostalon is still unaware of my presence in the castle.
Keep going, Dagar. The mace itself will locate the only other good heart in the castle. By the weapon's vibrations, you will find Aranna.
Forak is right. The mace fills me with weird sensations that get stronger the further I go in this direction. And then, here the feeling is the strongest. That means Aranna is behind this door. No weapon could cut through that barrier. No weapon except this enchanted one. Then Dagar sees her, the bewitching beauty whose image in the hourglass has captured his heart.
Who are you? If Ostalon had sent you.
I have not come from Ostalon. I have come to slay Ostalon. Look at me, Aranna. Am I not made of living flesh, and not dry bones?
I don't know. I am so confused. And yet, you hold the enchanted mace.
Yes, I was given the mace and chain by your father. He is still alive, but neither of you are safe until the evil of Ostalon is brought to an end. That is why Dagar is here. The image I saw of you in Forak's hourglass bewitched me. I must have you for my wife.
But, oh no. No, Dagar, please. Don't fall in love with me. There is so much you don't understand, that you are blind to.
I need only know one thing, and that is, I love you.
But, Dagar, you must listen to me.
There is no time to listen, only to act. I promise to free you and find eternal peace for your father. I must slay the fiend called Ostalon. There is the sound of rattling bones as Ostalon, with his army of skeleton men.
So, someone has finally succeeded in breaking into my stronghold. No matter. You will never defeat the hundreds of warriors soon to descend upon you. Then your bones will join in their ranks.
Do not try to fight them individually. The mace can serve a better purpose. Think, Dagar. Think.
Forak speaks to me again.
Think.
Ha! I see you back away. Perhaps even with such a weapon, your courage does not equal your strength.
But Dagar is hardly afraid, except for the girl's safety. Stand back, Aranna, and get ready to flee. This will all happen fast.
Now run, woman! Run to the far wall! In a moment, I'll be at your side. His weapon is like nothing I've ever seen. It cuts through stone as if it were bread.
Oh!
Aranna!
Death fills the chamber, not the death of bleached skeletons, but the descending death of tons of stone.
There is only one chance. If I can reverse the spell which brought this castle into existence. Save us, master!
But spells of such magnitude require time, more time than it takes an entire castle to fall upon its creator. As the final chunks of stony death rain down, something drifts before Dagar's eyes.
A banner with the sign of Scorpio. So Ostalon was in league with Scorpio all along. I could have forced him to tell me where that most vile archfiend is. But now it's too late, and the mace of the warrior god is lost, buried under all that tonnage. But it doesn't matter, as long as Aranna is safe.
What? Dagar!
You have done well, noble Dagar. I have found the eternal rest of death.
There is nothing more to fear, Aranna. Ostalon is dead, and all the effects of his power are gone. Without the power of Ostalon, the castle of the skull no longer has reason to exist. Your father is at peace, my love. All that remains now is our wedding. That is, if you'll have Dagar.
Oh, Dagar. Poor beloved Dagar. If only you'd have let me explain.
Explain? What is there to explain? The menace is over, and we have each other.
True. But did you not consider the fact that Ostalon kept both my father and me alive for centuries? Alive only by his evil magic? Did you not realize that once Ostalon died, and his power ended, just as the castle of the skull returned to its rightful form, so would all things preserved by him, that I would revert to my true age.
Aranna!
Eyes that have seen violence and carnage, with but a glimpse of beauty and love, stare incredulously as a world seems to end.
Aranna! Dust! She has turned to dust.
Dagar's muscles are as steel, but as a warrior he may be invincible. But even a warrior's heart can shatter. It takes such a warrior to suppress even a single tear.
The gods must be enjoying their joke. In saving Aranna, I destroyed the one who could tell me where to find Scorpio. And in destroying Ostalon, I have doomed my only love.
Darkness begins to appear, and clouds no longer try to blot out evil, as the young warrior slowly rides away. On his magnificent steed, he resolves.
No more will I let love interfere with my quest. I will fight only for payment, except in that conflict with the monster known as Scorpio. For I am a mercenary, warrior, and an avenger.
And it says, so the story is by Don Glut, and art is by Jesse F. Santos. Mercenary and avenger he may be, but the world will soon know of him as Dagar the Invincible. And that's the end of this comic. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.